Let's keep with birthing the movement's worth furthering. I am so excited to welcome this next speaker. We got connected through the Facebook webland, and we're just so aligned in the work that we do and what we believe. And you know what I love most about the stage, it's so abundant. There's a stage for everyone. There's a place for everyone. We all get to collaborate and work with each other. And I just love how David and I have collaborated over the years. And I'm just so excited to see where this takes us. So we're going to welcome David to the stage, and he is going to be birthing his movement all around. Don't bury your voice. David, take it away.
I believe in a world where our message lives on after our voice is gone. My love of storytelling comes from my dad. My dad had such a rich range of life experiences. My dad served in the British Army in Singapore and West Germany. Yes, while it was still West Germany. Whilst he was there, he was promoted to warrant officer. At the time, he was the youngest warrant officer in the history of the British Army. After his military service, he became a top-selling insurance salesman, and later in life, a hypnotherapist, helping people to overcome their phobias and fears. Dad had such a wonderful archive of stories to tell, and he just had that knack for storytelling. He was one of those people who could walk into a room and make everybody laugh. Dad was also a well-read man. He would devour any book he came across. Physics, philosophy, psychology. In fact, Dad was a massive part of my decision to go away to university and study psychology. And he took everything that he read and all of his own thoughts and wisdom, and he recorded them in journals. There are stacks and stacks of these. His own essays, stories, even poetry. But Dad lived in the wrong era. He didn't have the platforms that we have to share his stories and wisdom. There was no Amazon to self-publish his book. No Apple Podcasts to DJ his own radio show. No YouTube to host his own TV network. When Dad was given a terminal cancer diagnosis at the end of 2014, he hadn't shared any of his wisdom. A couple months before he died, I interviewed Dad about his life. One of the questions I asked him, Dad, what do you think your greatest achievement in life is? For once, Dad was lost for words. You know, David, sometimes I feel like I haven't achieved that much, really. That answer haunts me. He was a man who had so much to offer, but he didn't feel he'd left his mark on the world. When I sat with Dad during the last 60 minutes of his life, I saw a man who didn't share his message after his voice was gone. I didn't want the same thing to happen to me. And I don't want the same thing to happen to you. The problem that people have is they feel that they need to be at the end of their journey before they even begin. They need a writing degree to become an author. They need a home studio to film video. They need an expensive qualification to start coaching. The start of your journey is always going to be messy. When Dad died, I was 22. I didn't have a fucking clue what I was doing, but I knew that I needed to get started in order to find my way, in order to get to the place that I wanted to be. If you started today, what would that look like for you? If you're serious about being a thought leader, there's 3 things that I believe you need to be doing. Firstly, You've got to be filming at least weekly video. Don't overthink it. Just speak into your webcam or the camera on your phone, press record, and just share what's already there. One of the things that I tell aspiring speakers is if you go to the gym once a month, does anything change? No, it doesn't. You're still slobby, you're still a couch potato, you don't see any difference. You've got to be more consistent than that. The second thing is to write down your stories and anecdotes. And I don't just mean the big life events, it's those everyday occurrences that sometimes have those everyday wisdoms. These may form the backbone of a book you write one day. They may come into keynotes that you deliver. They can even just be posts that you post on social media. And thirdly, interview and be interviewed. When you interview others, you learn how to connect with people, and you also take away lessons that help you on your journey. And when you're the one being interviewed, you get deeper insight and clarity on your story and your message. Will you start today so that you're happy by the time you get to that final day on your deathbed? If you are, then I would like to invite you to join my Virtual Speakers Club. This is a community of speakers, bringing speakers from across the world who want to learn how to share their message. In the Virtual Speakers Club, you'll learn how to be just as good a storyteller as my dad. Well, almost. But also what you'll learn is the key skills to share your message that my dad never learned. There are 70 odd speakers at this event, and they all feel that they have something to share with the world. And that's not counting those of you who are in the audience right now. And I know that you feel the same way, but you've got to act on that. We all have a limited amount of time in this world. Don't let your time run out the way it did for my dad. I'm not telling you to live each day like it's your last. I'm telling you to live each day knowing that one day will be your last. Back to you, Purpose Pioneers.